Good evening. Good evening and welcome to the August 2015 Oakland County Campaign for Liberty meeting and Liberty Action Briefing. What a tremendous audience tonight, legacy and the history of all the foundational documents and the very important political philosophy that was enunciated over centuries and perfected, and then came out in the Declaration of Independence, and before that in the Virginia Declaration of Rights that George Mason spearheaded, and the great work by David Hume, the Scottish Enlightenment, who emphasized to the Americans and to the people back in Great Britain, in the United Kingdom, that it was our right as Americans, as human beings, it was our right to separate from the British Empire. That is the seminal and most important American political doctrine. And later, of course, they talked about that, about the right to alter or abolish government, the right to secede. And so they came together, as many of you know that have heard this before, they came together, each state individually seceding from the British Empire, coming together in the Second Continental Congress, forming the Articles of Confederation. And then they came together to do that. They each individually signed the peace treaty with the King of England. They then individually seceded from the Articles of Confederation and formed the Constitutional Federal Union, reserving for themselves and for their sovereignty as representatives of their people, of their nations. They formed a community of nations, those 13 nations, and they reserved for themselves the duties and the rights, the authority and the responsibility to protect the liberty of their people. And they said there were several ways to do it. One was through, if things got bad enough, they could leave the assemblage. And in fact, the Constitution was ratified only upon that condition. Virginia, Rhode Island, and New York, two of those being northern states, insisted on that, and it was agreed by all 13 that was indeed the case. And then later, of course, something that Chris Ann's going to be talking about, in 1798, Thomas Jefferson and James Madison wrote the Kentucky and Virginia Resolves, respectively, and Jefferson called it the rightful remedy, the moderate middle ground between submitting to centralized tyranny or seceding from the group, and that, of course, was nullification. And so recognizing that, we also recognize that in 1892, when the socialist Francis Bellamy wrote about one nation indivisible, he was rejecting the work of the founders. He was rejecting what Thomas Jefferson had written. He was rejecting what the brave volunteers of Valley Forge fought for. And we will not slander them or wipe our feet on their graves, rhetorically speaking. And we will stand up for the rights of the people to be free and to alter and abolish government when needed, and at the very least to nullify any acts which are usurpations, or as James Madison called them, insupportable oppression. Can I get an amen and a round of applause for that idea? You're darn right. Okay, so